something very interesting that made its way around Radio Row and honestly the Twitter sphere was how Georgia is handling their punishment for traffic-related incidents. Pete Nakos reports from On3 that 6 figures worth of NIL payments were withheld from Georgia players involved in traffic-related incidents. Now, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution has a report that says players or other members of Georgia football have been charged with either DUI, reckless driving, or speeding 24 times in the last 18 months. Translation, we got a problem. And everybody is wondering, how is Georgia going to handle it? Are they kicking them off the team? Are they going to make them do extra workouts? Are they suspending them? And it sounds like they're going to withhold NIL funding, or excuse me, NIL dollars, essentially, to players that are having these incidents. Now, I would also say this, too, and this is, again, from Kirby Smart yesterday. I believe he voluntarily shared this at the podium when he got on the mic at SEC Media Days yesterday. He said, this is outside of my jurisdiction. This is something the collective is handling. And also, he said, this is not something that's new. This is something we've done for a while now when it comes to how we punish players, more or less. Now, also, I believe it was reported that Kirby Smart and the collective have had conversations with this whole thing happening. So Kirby Smart in some way is involved, but he's not having the actual levying of the penalty when these things come out. But for me, I was like, this is a good idea. One, I'd be surprised if other schools aren't already doing this. Two, I'd be even more surprised if we don't see more of this going forward. And the big thought I have around this is, like, if we have professional problems, players making a lot of money, players able to buy fast cars with that money, players then having the opportunity to do poor things with that car, then we got to go to pro solutions. And what happens in the NFL when you make a poor decision with your car or whatever? You get fined. Now, to be clear, the verbiage around this is important. Georgia players are being withheld their NIL dollars as opposed to being fined their NIL dollars. Fining apparently has more to do with them being an actual employee. But the point stands. The issue in college football, and the issue for Georgia right now, is a professional issue. It's an issue with what you do outside of the team. And yeah, you can have a tough workout on you. You can be made to run extra laps, or made to do extra gassers, or made to have extra difficult punishment lifts. And I'm sure that Georgia actually, just if I had to guess, probably does something of that variety as well, in addition to withholding NIL dollars. But like, you finish up a workout, your punishment's done. Like, after you go in at that early morning on Friday and you have to go pay the Pied Piper for making a poor decision a couple nights before, whatever it was, like, at that point, the punishment's finished. And you'll be sore, but you'll move on. Next week will come. Hopefully you've learned from your poor decision and you're able to move forward. But when you get hit in the wallet, that sticks with you for a while. That changes things. I don't know the exact amounts, but 6 figures worth of NIL payments being withheld from Georgia players doesn't sound like chump change. Sounds like enough to make a difference. Hopefully enough to make a difference in your decision-making going forward if you're a Georgia player or anyone else in college football that's utilizing this same kind of discipline. So again, pro problems, guys having a lot of money to buy fast cars and then drive them in, quite frankly, illegal fashion. Pro solutions. In the NFL, you get fined. In the NFL, you also, in a lot of situations, will be suspended. And we'll see what Georgia does on that front if this issue persists even further. Wouldn't surprise me if they were to take action of that variety as well. But overall, this is a good thing for college football. This is a good thing for Georgia. And also, I love that this is out now in the public. Because now that it's out, teams that weren't doing this before now probably feel some freedom to make a decision like this with their future discipline for their players. Because if Georgia, the team that has won 2 of the last 3 national titles, is okay with withholding NIL payments to players as an act of discipline, who's to say another team can't do that? Who's to say a team that hasn't achieved at a level like Georgia can't do that? If Georgia's disciplining their players that way, must be something that's probably a good idea. Must be something that their winning culture is okay with putting into place. So all that's to say, I love this from Georgia. I think it's good for college football. I think it's good for Georgia, hopefully long term, and hoping they're able to have some better decision making there behind the wheel for the guys in that locker room and for that program. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.